What's good, YouTube? And welcome to dub after dub after dub from Konami. I've gone from doomer to oh so hopeful. It feels like the younger kids in the office have gotten the reins. This structure deck does what Yu-Gi-Oh has the biggest problem with. Pointing new players to a product and saying, yeah, you should buy that. Between this and the branded structure deck, you pretty much have an entire tournament-ready deck together. So all the Mulch armies are here is the big news of the day. We've got Perulia, Fulos, and Meows. All these together easily pay off for 3 of these structure decks. And within the structures, there's multiple Ash Blossoms, multiple Imperms. You've got Forbidden Droplet, Veilers, Called By, Designator. All these tournament power level cards that are just needed for new players to have access to, and they shouldn't be going out, piecing it up, and that kind of stuff. A lot of them had come down in price besides the Mulch armies, but $10 playset here, $10 playset there adds up, and it's all in one freaking package. I want to go over the history of the sets made for new players, and this was the first one I called out being bad when the set list revealed. Yu-Gi-Oh! Twitter slammed me. It's one of the only times they've ever done it, and I was like, what are you all on? This is like Bizarro World, because I come from an analytic perspective, but people are like, this solves the new player problem. This is going to be so good. You're just so wrong and negative and all this stuff. And look, when it comes down to it, top hand trap DD Crow, Magic Cylinder, Fissure, Swords are revealing light in years post-COVID. Come on now. Like, this was not going to get people excited about Yu-Gi-Oh! Here, you have anime character decks to capture the casuals, a realistic power perspective of cards that are played in the game today and that also revolve back into formats. You have something actually for collectors that aren't going to dive in too hard like the branded structure where they're chasing Starlights. You just want one sealed and one to bust open for the tokens and chibis. So you're not going to see this just fly off of shelves for those. You're going to see them for the actual cards between competitors and new players, and hopefully Konami is ready just like the Blue Eyes with an unlimited wave of this, because I do think this will be selling, especially for the holidays. A lot of people are going to want this one. When it comes to products similar, though, on power level for new players, Dual Devastator's it. This is the only product in all of history comparable, and I actually think this one beats it. You had Super Polymerization, a Kaiju, hand traps. Ash Blossom was a big reprint at the time, but it was a reprint. And I think when it comes down to this one, it's Meow's first reprint, and then you actually have, like, the Perulia. I thought Konami was going to try to cash in again, because it's only been reprinted in its original rarities between Quarter Century Secret Rare and Secret Rare. It was short printed in Maze and came with that rarity upgrade, and then the bloated tin pack. It really felt like Konami was going to plant it in one more product to try to sell it, and then water it down from there for years. But here we go. They're just going straight into it and ripping the band-aid off and saying, yeah, structure deck. Then you have Fulos, which was also climbing. I thought this would be like super rared into a side set to try to help sell it or something at this point, because it was already rarity collectioned up, but it was climbing back towards $20. And Meows was only this cheap because we knew a common was coming, and it is extremely needed for competitive play. It has found its way back in. It's such a good card, and I think that this structure deck, it's doing lifting. And it's not just the Mulch armies. It's so many different aspects between the character decks and the fun you can have with it, but also really showing people where Yu-Gi-Oh is at. Ash Blossom, it's still like $10 playset like I mentioned. Imperm about a $10 playset like I mentioned. Garden Rose Maiden just had buyouts, so it's great to see it included in here. And the overall community perception is positive. This product is so huge. Oh yeah, there's also Droll and Lockbirds, by the way. And they mentioned the other staples and how insane it is. They then say it's an expensive product. It's not like crazy. The legendary decks have always been $30-ish, and I think for the amount of value you're getting in here, to call it expensive at 30 when there are 3 separate structure decks inside, and the MSRP of structure decks is like 12 a piece or something now. It's a bargain. And yeah, buying singles of those would cost you more than the box. It's a good deal to buy multiples of this box over the singles, since you get the singles plus bonus cards to build fun decks for locals. I think that it being 30 plus makes it hard to buy in multiples. And again, yeah, when you're saying, oh, you're going to throw down $100 on this game, well, in modern days, you're pretty much spending that on a Switch game. I don't think it's actually that uncomparable to being hard. I think it's actually rather easy, personally, when you're in that same range as a game for something of this much value. Having 3 iconic anime characters is a huge selling point, though, and they do get into the positives of it. Overall, yeah, is 32 really expensive? The Jack deck was 12, so getting 3 of these is a small deal. They mentioned that here as well. Some people are on point on Reddit here. To be honest, it's more costly than expensive. The whole product is less than what a single Perulia is going for, but it's an awkward spot to getting 3 of these structures, leaving you with an insane amount of bulk in 2 decks that are still incomplete. I do get it. Like, if you want to level up the decks, you have to do more. But that's what a structure deck has always been. It's, here you are, here's a start into it, and you can go from there. Out of the box, I think only the domain structure deck ever was you could pull 3 of these out and not really need too much else besides other commons, and you can go at it. If you wanted to play extra deck monarchs, then you were paying a lot, which was popular in the middle. But that's another point in Yu-Gi-Oh history where a structure deck actually did it. ABC too. ABC had budget add-ons where you could play the entire game for about $100. But we're here in 2025. The term budget has gone from back in the day $30 to $60 to now budget feels like $200. Getting 3 of these and 3 branded structure decks still leaves you like $50-ish to play with? That's insane, in my opinion, for the modern budget player and that definition. Now, I do want to go to the flip side of this, since I've been so positive through all of it. I think there's a huge reason that Konami is doing all these dubs, and that's product sales. I made a post that went way further than I thought it would over on Twitter. I said, hot take, Konami is love bombing the community after how products started bombing. And Luke Von Karma came in, Konami, when they stopped buying product in boxes and they shoot down to 30. And this was originally to Cali Effect saying, wait, they actually care. So I was like, I don't know that it's care. I think it's sales. And a lot of people kind of felt that, right? Like, it's been a bad year. Stores have been struggling. And wow, products in such a bad place. Well, this ban list, it's money moves and attention to the game. And that's kind of what Genesis is too. That came up today. I think Peeps had a post and it was something along the lines of like, I'm surprised where the Genesis ban list went and they didn't hit this new deck harder. And I was like, well, I think it's going to be similar ban list cycles unless something's a huge problem to our main ban list, where they tiptoe around the newer decks until they've reprinted and resold them, and then they'll kind of get heavier with the hits. Genesis is also to sell cards. If you're looking at Konami overall, their main point, their main core value is money. They want your money and they want the game to succeed around that typically, but they felt off and disconnected the last few years. So to finally get that connect, where we want to spend our money in the last couple of months, from collectors kind of looking back and like, are we going to get screwed again, or should I? It's at least a consideration for them. Many are still staying away. Many are saying, I'm not going to get burned again. I've learned this lesson so many times. I've been taught, well, if they make a Genzo or Summon Skull, I'm in. I mean, I'm going to go for my favorite cards, even if I know it's kind of a honey trap and they might do another version. Serialized, that's another story. Again, I feel a type of way about that. I think it should be full art special, guaranteed on its own, but special number, I guess. When it comes down to this and all the changes Konami's been making, money is the root cause. Money is what they're after. They're making money moves. And I think these are good ones. I think from an analytical perspective, the last 2 months to 3 months has really felt like a different team in charge, maybe going all the way back to 6 and the planning in this and getting to turn it around. But how it's been communicated from Genesis, and you actually get words from the teams and personality and flair, and then you look at what's happening over here and the products are starting to get better. We knew that the Chronicle structure would be good, and we were hoping the 5Ds one would be good. This knocks it out of the park way further than I think anybody thought. Overall, this is good for Yu-Gi-Oh! And I did not think there would be an answer for a new player problem. Does this bring them in droves? Absolutely not. But it is, again, something we can point to and say, hey, you should pick that up if you're interested. And we haven't had something like that since, is it 2018? Yeah, it's been a while.